The wind blew through my hair, whipping my eyes with the pitch black sky overhead and the moon shining so bright in the sky over the flashy sports car that was careening at 90 miles per hour like a snake through the mountain, tempting fate and death. At that moment, at age 20, with the adrenaline running through my veins and feeling that life was larger than I could even imagine, I thought I had arrived at the pinnacle of my fantasy. Even though as a child I drove my Ken and Barbie around in a pink convertible, never in my wildest dreams did I imagine my Ken doll racing Barbie along the road, putting her in danger. But now this was just the beginning of my journey of stupid choices. As you will find out in this book, this was the beginning to the end of that phase of my life. Now I realize I have been jaded, a piece of pure gem darkened and roughened up, and I've tried almost all of it. I've had too many crazy experiences I do not wish to relive. This story is all about how I lost myself in a relationship with a narcissist and how I lost my God-given treasures in the pursuit of my self-centered desires of status, love, and acceptance. At the end, when my soul couldn't take the chase anymore, I went numb and was closed off to the world. And that is saying a lot because I looked to the external world for answers. And that is what we're going to talk about today in this episode. This is episode 2 of Impasse Beyond Trauma, Healing from Narcissistic Abuse and Inviting True Joy into Being. The painful insecurities trauma impresses upon you. Today I'm going to be introducing to you the after effects of trauma and how it leaves you feeling empty. But also I'm going to be introducing to you another element because maybe you didn't experience trauma in your childhood as deep-rooted as you think that might cause you to seek out attention or affirmation from someone who is as toxic as a narcissist. So we're going to be talking about human design a little bit today. We're going to be talking about the open root center. The centers are the chakra systems, and we'll dive deep into that when we get into that section in a little bit. But I wanted to just share with you a little snippet from my book.
If you are experiencing fear, anxiety, and confusion in your relationship constantly, then I highly recommend speaking to a professional. I've been there. And when I left the narcissist, I found talk therapy to be extremely beneficial. And this is why I chose BetterHelp as a sponsor. This episode is sponsored by BetterHelp, who offers licensed therapists who are trained to allow you to talk to your therapist in the privacy of your own home, in an online environment at your convenience. Finding a therapist is easy. Just fill out the questionnaire to help assess your specific needs. Then you get matched with a therapist in 48 hours. Everything you share is completely confidential in therapy. Join the 3 million plus people who have taken the charge of their mental health and found freedom from the narcissist with an experienced BetterHelp therapist. Get 10% off your first month at betterhelp.com/empath. That's /EMPATH. The link is in the show notes.
But I was thoroughly enjoying myself. My ego was happy in those times of feeling so much bliss. And, when you're 20s, you kind of are wild. And that was some of our choices of being wild. But I kept on staying. I kept on believing the lies and the self-doubt that I had that was then magnified by his own reassurances, trying to change me and condition me into whom he wanted to be. It seemed a lot of work. It seems like a lot of work to change someone, but it is easier than putting yourself out there and risking dating. You think, like, why does a narcissist go through so much trouble in conditioning or shaping or molding you or you, the receiver, into something you're not? Like, it takes a lot of work, and it did take a lot of daily effort and conversations and arguments and all the things, all the tricks and all the things that he did upon me to really impress upon me like how I should be. Like a real woman always has her nails done. A real woman always looks put together. Or, all the things like eats a salad. All the things that he thought was proper for a woman to do that he wanted me to do and he wanted to be on his arm out in public. That is what he told me to do and I was willing and pliable to do it. And that's exactly what he said in the end. He said, "You're so easy. You were so moldable. That's why I chose you." So you don't want to be so easily moldable. You don't want to so easily look to the outside of yourself for who you are, because the answers are not outside of you for who you are or what your purpose is or what your powers are or how you should act. It's within you. And that's the whole point of my book that I wrote, to hopefully transfer that message that I learned and I'm still learning because of my open root center onto you, dear empath. So there's a lot of self doubt, a lot of self hate that I experienced, even insecurities throughout my childhood, throughout my life. And I just ruminated and let those negative thoughts become reality. And our thoughts are our reality. So we're going to get to that. So, trauma, when you experience trauma, especially conditioning from the narcissist, it's hot or cold. So it does put you in survival mode. You think you're great, everything's good. Love bombing, love ya. Like, I've never experienced a love like this. This is a man or woman of my dreams. They are like all over me. They like can't get enough of me. They're always in my text messages. They're always sending me cute things. That's at the beginning. And that's really just what we call love bombing. We all know this term by now, if you've been on social media. And then they'll remove that love from you when you do something that they don't like or that they want and you don't want to. Anytime you assert your autonomy or your own choice that is not what theirs is and not on board with their agenda, they retract, they remove, they shun you, they get upset, they start to close in on themselves and they stop talking to you. They'll turn something against onto you and make you feel like you are the one that did the wrong and you're crazy. All of these situations, socially with them, relationally, it is trauma. It's just perpetual, constant emotional and verbal abuse. And it puts you into survival mode. And when your brain goes into survival mode, your confidence lowers. You are conditioned to just think more in that limbic system. Your nervous system shuts down. You freeze, you fight, or you flight. You're not thinking about the higher ideas in your head about who you want to be. There's no time for you to dream about what is my like list. What are the things that make me happy, right? You're just thinking survival, survival, survival. And so in this situation, your brain gets trained to hone in and to continue to focus in on these negative aspects. And then you are the victim. And then even when you are removed, you are the victim in all other situations, even with small problems. And you play the victim, or your brain just automatically is in victim mode. So you just claim it. Like you're like, "Oh, I can't believe they did that to me." And it's like maybe a coworker where they just, spilled something or they did something small or they didn't invite you to a party. It's like, okay, well, maybe they didn't want to invite everybody. Like there's no other side perspective. It's very much like victim, victim, victim mode, which I'm 100% guilty of because that rejection feels so deep and so hurtful. There's big feelings there. So then when you get quote unquote getting rejected by someone else, that triggers you and that triggers that abandonment, that triggers that discard. Feeling discarded as a human is like the worst feeling ever. And that's what the narcissist does to get you to do what they want, to bend you to their will. And I'm not saying that you're weak. I'm just saying that they are more diligent at getting you to bend at their will. They're more stronger. They have a stronger will. And if you are seeking, again, that outside validation from them, it makes it more easy for them to mold you into who they want to be and to do what they want. And you may also not experience trauma in childhood. You may also have a natural quality where you feel anxious about your self-worth and look to your accomplishments in school or opinions of others to feel secure. And I've experienced this and I've witnessed this in others who have an open root center. So let's dive into what that means. What are the centers in human design? And in my book, Empath of the Narcissist, there's a chapter 12. Also, I wrote a book, Healing Through Human Design, that talks all about human design. And chapter 12 covers just a brief summary, kind of an overview of human design.
I didn't say that. You're too sensitive. No one will believe you. Are these phrases familiar? Then you may be dealing with a narcissist, and this book is for you. Over the past decade, Raven Scott has first exited a toxic relationship with a narcissist, then found her healing and renewal through the very tools she shares in this book. This healing guide weaves a story of an empath struggling with codependency and loving a narcissist, then shows how she was able to leave and heal from the pain and trauma. It is a story and guide. It guides you in transforming yourself from low self-esteem, PTSD, emotional abuse, to a strong, confident, and renewed soul. It provides effective techniques to help you overcome pain, fear, and the cycle of emotional dependency. There are 20 plus exercises included in this guidebook, including inner child guided meditations, EFT tapping, astrology, Meet Your Healed Ancestor guided meditation, Empath Protection Shield, and inside there is a free bonus, How to Draw Powerful Boundaries workshop that you can get access to for free. This is the kind of book that gives all seekers hope and renewal as they walk their own path to waking up spiritually and discovering their unique treasures within. Get the Empath and the Narcissist, How to Overcome Narcissistic Abuse, Recover from PTSD, Codependency, and Gaslighting Manipulation on Amazon and Audible today.
And so if we're looking at the chart, if it's kind of similar. So human design is like astrology, and the chart is mixed with Kabbalah, I Ching, astrology, the chakra system. And so the centers are part of that chakra system. So the chakras, I'm sure, again, you've seen all over the spiritual realm of social media, TikTok and Instagram. There's the head and the third eye, the throat, and so on and so forth. So the root chakra is the very bottom, the base of our spine, and it is what helps us ground to the earth as human beings. We are human beings. We live in this body. We're not meant to run and escape our human experience, which is something I'm still working on. And when you have an open root center, you want to run into meditation. You want to run into running, like literally running away. You want to get away from that situation versus grounding into the situation if it's uncomfortable to experience it. That's part of being a human, is experiencing pain and joy, difficulty and pleasure, accomplishment and struggle. All of these are part of the human experience. So the root center that needs the most help in grounding is the one where it's white. It's a little square on the bottom of your chart. It is white. It is not colored in. And we call that open. Or you could say undefined, because technically it's completely open if you don't have any gates colored in inside that center. So it's undefined. And undefined means that you amplify energies around you in that scenario, that you're more easily conditioned. So therefore, the narcissist can more easily condition you through that external validation. And you do feel very uncomfortable. Like it's more than I don't like this. Like for someone who has a defined root center, they're like, I don't like this, but I can like chill, or I'll stand my ground, or I'll be stubborn. No, the open root center says, I don't like this. I'm flying away. This is more of the fleeing type of limbic system person. So you run off, and the running away is in disguise. The running away is, okay, I'm gonna go shopping. You could just, oh, well, we just need to get in the car. We just need to go. Like, oh, I need to make sure my schedule is fully booked in order to be always busy and not settling and experiencing into your body. Even boredom is really painful. So that's why you have your social calendar all filled up, or you have your to-do list always very long and never have them fully checked off because you always have something to do, right? To make sure that you're not bored. So this is part of the experience of also like being anxious about your grades. Like if you get a B instead of an A, you don't like it. You feel uncomfortable. You think that, you know, you're a horrible person. You kind of get a little existential sometimes too with this dramatic, one might say, when you're hypersensitive to having this open root center. So you really need to just tap into this. If you have this, just know it, first of all. Awareness is the step number one. Step number two is knowing that you are enough. Just as you are, you incarnated in this body for a reason. And it is not to please a narcissist. It is not to bend to their will. It is to be who you are uniquely, which probably is not going to agree with a lot of people around you, depending on who you surround yourself with. It will agree with people, correct people you're surrounding yourself with, and you're actually exuding your real essence. Then it clicks because you're being real and authentic. But when you start to shift and change and try and be this or try and be that or stress over being perfect or stress over, if you're pouring a lot of energy into something that is not equally exchanged back, which is something I'm very conscious of right now and lately, that is another part of the open root center. And like finding that external validation is, it's an energy thing. The energy thing needs to be balanced. So if you're putting so much energy into something that you feel so burnt out, you're so heavy, you're frustrated, you're upset, you actually start to get negative about the situation, and this other side is dangling way up here, up high, you need to soften that stress, soften the grip, even the grip on the control or the grip on your social calendar. Soften and just be. Be more like a tree, which takes a lot longer time for them to grow, and they need space and air and sunlight, and they just chill in one space. They're not like a hurricane whipping around. And that's the struggle with that open center. So number two is knowing you are enough. Number three is finding practices in your wellness routine that help you ground. An amazing question I was asked yesterday is, what is grounding you today? And I came back to my answer of my gratitude practice in the morning. Every morning I write at least 3 things I'm grateful for, and it usually needs to be specific to what occurred in my life over the night or the day before. Finding that grounded root of what is grounding you lately. Walking on grass. I went to the park the other day and I did Pilates barefoot in the grass, and it was amazing. They were like, I so needed it. I was like a desert of grounding. Like I have been spinning as well. And I really enjoyed that groundingness. So that's the third part, is what is grounding you? Ground into different practices that make you feel calm. A grounding practice is anything that makes you feel calm, makes you feel relaxed, and makes you feel comfortable in your body. So it doesn't have to be spiritual. It can be something that just is enjoyable. Maybe it's sports, playing a game, like what lights you up and also makes you feel real in your body. That's grounding. So the fourth is perception, because what we think becomes reality. So we need to now we've grounded. Now we need to go back to our thoughts and reevaluate. Was that true? Was that really true? Which I love that practice of really assessing. Is this true? Is this my perception? Is this my insecurities talking to me and saying, you're not good enough? They don't really support you. They don't really care about you. You are not appreciated, so you need to go find a new job, or you need to go find a new relationship. First, ask yourself if it's true, and if you're like, actually, maybe it's kind of existential. Maybe it's not really true. Maybe that's just my insecurities talking. Then you can be curious and actually go to that person and say, hey, this is what I'm feeling. I'm feeling so burnt out, or I'm feeling stressed. Is this true? Whatever is in your head, is this true? That be curious about it, and see what comes back to you. I mean, usually if you're dealing with someone who is not narcissistic, they will reply with something that is grounded, that's level, that's encouraging. They'll probably encourage you, say, no, my gosh, no, like, you are so great. We are so appreciative of you. Versus with a narcissist, if you do ask them, is this true? This is what's happening. They'll probably turn it back and say, no, it's not true that I'm doing that. You're doing that, right? Then they'll turn the finger. So you want to be careful as to approaching the narcissist with a finger pointed, and be more using I statements to help you with that conversation with them if you have to deal with them and you're not no contacting them. Or if you're in a relationship with them and you're still trying to figure it out. So those are some really key steps to help you ground. If you have an open root center, you can still feel this with a defined root center. That just means that something else greater, life experiences or trauma, has conditioned you to be feeling these insecurities, to be feeling this feeling of non-confidence and conforming and morphing who you are to be accepted by somebody on the outside, which narcissists do really well, is condition any type of person to be who they want, because it's easier than dating and being real and open and having a real relationship and conversation with somebody. So it's important to face the situation with bravery, with calm and curiosity, so that you can face the discomfort and experience that human experience in your mind and in your body. And you can breathe through it, and you can journal about it, and you can really assess, okay, is this something I want to experience again? Did I grow from it? Or is it making me crazy and I need to grow out of it and grow away from it? So that's a great space to assess. Okay, is this something I need to discard, or is this a space that I can stay and continue to grow in? Is really evaluating what you are feeling in it, and you can't really know or evaluate and feel it if you run away from it. So you have to stay grounded and in it. Because yes, back to our topic, trauma does impress painful insecurities on us. So how can we rewrite those? And the challenge is to stay grounded in our body, be curious, and do what we need to do to heal those, and then gain clarity over those. So gaining clarity is the ticket. I know it's the hardest part, but time gives us clarity, but we also need to be able to remove ourselves from that pattern and from those painful insecurities and just be like, hey, you know what? Insecurity, I got you. So envisioning yourself as that higher self, that soul self, versus your insecure self in your body. Be like, okay, I exude confidence. I exude love. I am compassion. I'm here for you. And you're talking to yourself, I'm here for you. What do you need? And then let's just allow that clarity to come through. Just listen for the clarity, and your intuition will guide you. So running away and reacting to the narcissist out of a reactive mode is never going to work, right? That's just drama, fuels more drama. So being more grounded in ourselves, not being afraid to feel uncomfortable, being in charge of your own happiness is really key. So you can choose to make your own happy. Even if you're crying and you're sad, what can you do in that moment to make your own happy right this very second? Not for forever, but just right now, so that you can start shifting your mindset from these insecure thoughts that are fueling your negative mindset patterns into your more secure thoughts, to be able to get you out and into a life that you can truly be your unique self, who you are designed to be and who you incarnated here to be. So the open root center is one that who gives you constant needless pressure to get to-do lists done. They're positive if they can get work done, but projects right away because they feel the urgency to do so, but they also can rush things, and it can be a negative thing as well. How do your open centers affect your anxiety, your frustrations? That is my question I will leave for you here today. Think on, how does your open center affect your anxiety? How does trauma in your life affect your anxiety? And how can you be that gentle, kind voice to your anxiety, to your anxious centers, to calm down and be grounded?
Are you ready to release negative energy, build confidence, and understand your soul's purpose? If you're an empath seeking to break free from the shadow of toxic relationships, this book is your beacon of hope, and this book is for you. In the epic tale of Inanna, you will find a story of resurrection, strength, and unwavering pursuit of self. Draw inspiration from her journey as you navigate your path towards healing and empowerment. The moon rituals connect with the cycles of the moon and harness its energy. It contains healing meditations to dive into guided meditations to soothe your spirit and mend your wounded heart. There are journal prompts to unearth your innermost thoughts, and human design in detail is demystified. Navigate the intricate web of your human design chart with clarity and confidence. It's time to rewrite your story, reclaim your power, and become truly narc-proof. Are you ready to embrace your healing journey? Get your copy of Healing with Human Design on Amazon today.
All right, I'm going to leave you with that. If you would like more information or you want your human design chart read, you can find me at ravenspathpress.com, or you can email me at tiffany@ravenspathpress.com.
So before we end, I just want you to take a second, wherever you're at. If you are not driving and you're not operating anything, just take a moment to lower your gaze or close your eyes and take a deep breath in. And exhale out. And as you breathe in one more time, breathe in your power. Breathe in your calm. Repeat this affirmation after me. I ground my energy into my body for the whole human experience. Take a deep breath in and exhale. I breathe in my energy for power to meet the tough moments today. And exhale. I breathe in my energy and take back my autonomy from others. I am a channel from the divine. If you need those affirmations repeated, you can find them on my Instagram at Empaths Beyond Trauma, and you can save that into your grounding folder or wherever you save your reels. Those are very powerful affirmations that you can repeat over and over. You can also listen to this part of the podcast.
All right, be kind to yourself, stay true to yourself, and know that you are more beyond your trauma. See you in the next episode.